It's very sad, and it's disrespectful of those gallant young persons who lost their life in the struggle for a better Nigeria, in the struggle to ensure that there's equity and justice in this country. This is a system of calculated disinformation by the federal government to confuse Nigerians. And I find it very insulting, especially all those who struggled, who put their effort into organizing the struggle and on Nigerians in general. Now, the question is simple. Who shot at the protesters? I saw a clip with it where they said that the soldiers have been traced to a particular barrack. So soldiers came there. We saw live rounds. It cannot be disinformation. It cannot be fake news. So I think the federal government is confused. The federal government is trying to cover its track. Lagos State has set up a judicial panel of inquiry. They will get to the root of the matter. But people died. We saw the shots. All of those things cannot be fake news. People were there over, I don't know the number of protesters that were there, but there were people who were there who witnessed the incident. When the military people came, they put off the lights to the toll gate, and then bam, the shot started. So for the federal government or for anybody to say it's fake news is totally disrespectful of Nigerians. It's an insidious statement, and I do not agree with it because the facts clearly point out that the Nigerian soldier from Bonny Camp, they have been traced to Bonny Camp. In fact, I read a piece, I don't know how far that piece is true, that if the soldiers even took the corpse of 8 people to a hospital inside Bonny Camp. So these are the facts. And this morning, the federal government, who has been denying, I saw a piece, I don't know whether it's a genuine article, attributed to the Chief of Army Staff, that the soldiers should not be afraid of being tried by the International Court of Justice. So if you are saying that you did not send soldiers, then why are you now saying that soldiers should not be afraid of being tried? So this is the inconsistency, in the position of government and its attempt to create disinformation and divide Nigerians. I do not support the widespread destruction of properties by hoodlums who sadly destroy the livelihood of fellow Nigerians who are strugglers in the cause. That's very sad. But we must separate the issues and we must be very clear. The looting did not start until after the unfortunate Lekki incident. The original protesters were peaceful. They were calm. Throughout the protests, they organized themselves in a very orderly manner. They were decorous. They did not harass anybody. They did not loot any shops. It was after the shooting by the Nigerian military that led to the unfortunate loss of lives that mayhem broke loose. And when mayhem broke loose, unfortunately, hoodlums hijacked the protest. If you look at the clips on social media, you won't see any true NSAS protester looting. It was all a bunch of area boys and thugs. And so that was the consequence of the killing. Now, as you are aware, the Constitution guarantees every Nigerian citizen the right to freedom of movement. My understanding of the NSAS protesters was that they created barricades. And even when they created barricades, there was flow of traffic, but it was not fast. Everywhere. They didn't completely barricade the roads. All right? Now, maybe where they were, they barricaded those areas because of incoming vehicle. And that is sensible so that traffic can flow the other way and not affect the protesters. I was in Abuja and I was in Lagos during the protest. And I saw where roads were blocked by people who were not NSAS protesters. I saw where they were blocked. I couldn't go to the airport in Lagos when I was about to travel. I had to use a light from my car and use 4 Okadas to get to the airport. In Abuja, the same thing. So it's unfortunate that people hijacked the protests from the organizers. And that is what led to the seemingly broke down in law and order. If they did that, it was wrong for them, for those who subsequently hijacked the protests, to block the roads because you cannot restrict the movement of other people. But for the 11 days that the NSAS protesters organized their decent process, people were moving all around. And yes, it was a bit difficult, movement was a bit difficult, but I don't think they completely blocked the road such as to impede free movement of people.